Hi, this is another unboxing of this Thermalright SI or S1 or SL-100 Black. It is another small form factor cooler. I like the last one I just unboxed. It's a little bit thicker and it's in the color black. And inside the box you find a 120mm normal thickness, 25mm thickness fan. This one is no RGB. And then you have your cooler, like that. Make sure you peel this off before you install. And you have your accessory box. So in the accessory box, like all Thermalright coolers, they're all pretty much identical. In my opinion, it's a very good design, very intuitive. On the previous video, that showed, some of the keys and tricks of installing the cooler. I'm going to demonstrate once more using this. But instead of actually opening a box, I'm actually do a quick comparison of what's in the previous one, which is almost identical as this one. So I'm not actually going to break these packaging to save on some time. So if you look at this and look at from the previous one, other than the color, everything's the same. Like I demonstrated from before, that the Intel bracket, you have to be careful when you install these, right? You have to put the spacer on. Some people might forget or might not see these or might not follow the instruction. Obviously, that was one of my mistakes when I did that, and it was actually one of their AIO coolers. It's the same mounting brackets. They're very, very good brackets. They're very good design, but before you do this, you gotta put these spacers on, and then you gotta pop these guys in there. Obviously, in between, there's will be a motherboard sandwich in there, right? And in this case, they're all identical, so I can literally take this. Oops, wrong color. Pop that in there. Put that like that. Put that like that. You could even use, depends on what you're doing. You might want to do a quick swap, you never know, if it's handy or not to, it's very handy to have same mounting mechanisms. And they're all identical. And just pop those in there, right? If you like the black, you can buy 2 of these packages. They're so cheap. They're probably like around $20 USD. And you could buy 2 of these. If you don't like, the shiny bits, put the black one on, right? And then you take one of the coolers on, and in this case you have the black mounting, you have the black cooler. If you compare to the previous one, which is the white version of it, everything is identical and everything is interchangeable. You can mix match these screws, and this one is all black and this one is all bare metal looking or shiny metal. They're just very easy to install. Like, And like also like the other one, this one come with the 120mm clips, and it also come with the slim 120mm clips. And in this case, you could take, you know, your cooler, depends on your height requirement. You might want to pop one of the slim fans on, like the previous one I unboxed. Pop in like that. And you know what? If Noctua fans or slim fans cost you 15, 10 bucks to buy, you might as well buy 2 Thermalright packagings and have spare parts laying down like different colors and just use the fan, right? And you can mismatch all of these, you know, pretty easily. And well, that concludes this unboxing. Hopefully that's informational for you guys. And don't forget, their thermal paste is very good too. Obviously not the best, but it's definitely, you know, pretty decent for the price. So on my previous video, I didn't really exactly put on AMD, you know, onto their bracket. In this case, I have restored this to somewhat factory spec with the little plastic brackets. Now, there's a little trick to do this. The trick is actually don't undo both of these at the same time, right? For these Thermalright coolers, what you actually wanted to do is you do one side at a time, because then you're not going to get that bracket. This bracket fell down on you or get loose on you. It will make your installation much easier. All right, so in this case, you pop that in there. You take your AMD bracket. In this case, I'm not going to put thermal paste. I already have a thermal pad on it. And this is more for my next test. It's actually, how I say, a little non-scientific test, but it's going to come up in a bit. But for this video, I'm just going to show you how to install these. Just hand tight for now. You can crank them down all the way. So this makes the back plate doesn't want to fall off. And sometimes, depends on your build, you might not have access to the back plate. You might have some difficulties lining it up. So by doing this, it'll make your life much easier. Now what you do, you take the spacer. So you see how these are recessed in because I didn't tie these down? One lazy way to do this is actually just torque down this side a little bit. See how it's popping up a little bit? But you don't crank it down, right? Just enough that when you put the next screw in, it's going to catch onto the thread. So in this case, you want to line these up first. Pop the spacer in. You just gotta line it up. Give it a hand tight. Yeah. And once you feel like, yeah, they're catching, right? Then you can slowly or gently, you don't have to be slow, but you can be gentle, right? Screw in Now remember, after you put this in, nothing is tight. You just wanted to screw them in a star pattern, somewhat. Yeah, so nice and tight. And then grab your cooler, right? Depends on your spacing, right? You want to go maybe this way, maybe that way, right? Depends on your run height. In this case, there's no rotation this way because of the design of the AN4 bracket, but I don't think this is a deal breaker because the ease of installation and how good these cooler designs are. They'll make it high enough, like this portion of it, to make sure it clears most of the components on the left and right of the motherboard. Now I'm going to show you the installation on the other one with the other video, just to show you what it looks like.